Every morning, 20 million people in Delhi wake up, commute to work, send their children to school, breathing air that measures 17 times above what the World Health Organization calls safe. At those concentrations, simply living in this city carries the equivalent toll of smoking multiple cigarettes a day. In India, every breath comes at a cost. And what's driving this crisis stretches far beyond Delhi's skyline. In Delhi, winter is not just a change in the weather, it is a predictable pollution season. Year after year, as October transitions into November, the city's air quality index regularly climbs past the 400 mark, entering the hazardous zone. This is not a sudden, unpredictable emergency, but a recurring calendar event documented by decades of monitoring. Residents adjust their daily routines around this annual toxicity, checking pollution indexes as casually as temperatures, normalizing conditions that would trigger lockdowns elsewhere. While the summer months maintain a baseline concentration that already violates international safety limits, the arrival of colder weather triggers a physical trap. A meteorological phenomenon known as a temperature inversion occurs, where a layer of warm air sits above cold surface air, acting as an atmospheric lid. This ceiling prevents daily urban emissions from dispersing, packing the particles close to the streets. For school children waiting at bus stops and commuters on their morning route, this dense layer of particulate matter becomes their environment for months. Cold weather does not generate the pollution, but it ensures that every metric ton of dust and exhaust remains trapped exactly where people breathe. The primary engine of this trapped haze runs on the city's own streets. Delhi's active vehicle fleet has expanded to more than 12 million units, creating a relentless source of tailpipe emissions. During the winter months, when the cold air traps these gases, vehicular exhaust accounts for approximately 30% of the total PM 2.5 mass. Two-wheelers, local transport, and heavy diesel trucks clog the arterials daily, idling in gridlock and venting fine carbon particles directly into the breathing zone. While vehicles dominate the roads, they represent only the first layer of this internal urban map. The rapid physical expansion of the capital generates a secondary, highly abrasive pollutant, mineral dust. Unpaved roads, metro transit extensions, and high-rise construction projects release massive quantities of coarse particulate matter. Despite local regulations requiring wet spraying and protective netting, dry winter winds sweep these materials across the city, where they constitute 15 to 20% of the seasonal PM 2.5 peaks. Every concrete mixer, sand pile, and open building site contributes to this heavy, suspended dust layer. When the evening rush hour subsides and the roads quiet down, the emissions do not stop. On the municipal periphery, coal-fired power stations and heavy manufacturing units keep the city's pollution engine running through the night. Industrial belts like Okla and Najafgarh house thousands of small-scale factories, while peripheral coal plants supply 15% of the capital's electricity. These stacks generate a steady stream of sulfur oxides, fly ash, and secondary sulfates, accounting for roughly 8% of the annual winter load. Combined with temperature inversions, these nocturnal emissions ensure the air never clears, even in the early hours before dawn. The capital operates as a self-sustaining generator of its own toxic atmosphere, trapping its 30 million residents inside a cage of their own economic creation. Outside the city limits, a seasonal force sweeps in from the agricultural plains of Punjab and Haryana. Every October and November, a narrow 3-week window opens between the rice harvest and the sowing of winter wheat. For millions of farmers, clearing fields quickly is a financial necessity. Burning the remaining crop residue is the fastest method, saving 1,500 rupees per hectare in labor. While clean mechanical alternatives exist, The 30,000 rupee cost of equipment like the Happy Seeder remains prohibitive for smallholders operating on thin margins. When thousands of these fires ignite, MODIS and VIIR's satellite sensors record a sharp rise in regional aerosol levels, tracking the thick smoke plumes as they drift directly into the capital. During these peak weeks, agricultural burning contributes up to 30% of Delhi's fine particulate matter. This regional contribution is driven by an inflexible farming calendar and regional economic pressures rather than individual neglect. The fire plumes join the urban smog, expanding the metropolitan crisis into an interstate network of economic realities and environmental consequences. The damage begins in the shallow breaths of the city's youngest. In Delhi, the lungs of 2.2 million children are irreversibly damaged. A long-term cohort study tracking over 4,500 children revealed that 32% of Delhi's school children suffer from chronic respiratory symptoms, nearly double the 18% rate found in rural areas. For these children, the harm is not a temporary winter cough. It is a structural alteration of growing lung tissue. Each inhaled microgram of fine particulate matter triggers immediate inflammation, causing childhood asthma and chronic bronchitis. As they grow, microscopic soot penetrates directly into their bloodstreams, hardening arteries and raising lifetime cardiovascular risks. This cumulative damage eventually claims years of life. According to the Air Quality Life Index, the average Delhi resident loses 8.2 years of life expectancy compared to World Health Organization clean air guidelines. The toll spreads silently across generations, from wheezing toddlers in pediatric wards to elderly residents struggling for breath in poorly sealed homes. Clean air is no longer a shared resource. Its absence is a slow, systemic tax on survival. While macroeconomic debates persist, families in Delhi pay a continuous, private tax on survival. Every 10 microgram rise in fine particulate matter increases monthly out-of-pocket household medical spending by 1,200 to 2,800 rupees. For families in low-income settlements like Jahangirpuri, the annual financial burden of chronic respiratory ailments averages 9,000 rupees per adult and 4,500 rupees per child. This direct medical toll often forces total pollution-related expenses past 25,000 rupees annually, consuming over 10% of a working-class household's income. During extreme smog episodes, daily wage workers lose 3 to 5 working days due to illness or outdoor work halts, suffering wage losses of up to 4,000 rupees per wave. The crisis also extends into the future. Each winter, air emergencies shut down schools, causing children to lose up to 4 weeks of classroom instruction annually. To cope, middle-class homes spend thousands more on HEPA purifiers and N95 masks, while poorer families absorb the physical impact. Long before governments balance the cost of clean energy, the economic damage is already fully paid by the citizens, one prescription and one lost workday at a time. To counter the winter haze, municipal authorities rely on highly visible, short-term measures. The odd-even traffic rationing scheme temporarily reduces vehicle counts on restricted corridors by 15 to 20%. However, extensive exemptions for two-wheelers and commercial fleets leave the citywide fine particle load largely unchanged. Similarly, the capital's multi-million rupee smog towers, marketed as giant outdoor air purifiers, show actual pollutant removal efficiencies of less than 5% outside their immediate vicinity. When the air quality index reaches hazardous thresholds, emergency school closures and temporary industrial halts act as a safety valve, offering fleeting relief but leaving the underlying emissions system intact. This reliance on temporary interventions highlights a deeper governance gap. While the National Clean Air Program targeted a 20% pollution reduction, the capital achieved only a 5 to 7% drop due to enforcement delays and coordination failures. As the Supreme Court mandates expert panels to address enforcement gaps, the state's policy ledger remains stuck. India's rapid industrial expansion continues to clash with the escalating physical and fiscal costs of securing safe, breathable air for its citizens. As India pursues its $5 trillion economic ambition, the AIR itself questions the true cost of progress. No nation can outgrow the physical limits of its own atmosphere. Until breathing is treated as a human right, growth remains a toxic bargain. Share your thoughts below.